So we're getting on to number 4. This one, well, there was a lot of rumination, a lot of thinking, a lot of mulling over, quite difficult mulling over was engaged in trying to put this list together. So number 4, it's gonna have to be, doesn't matter the order, so I'm gonna go with Norwood Fisher from Fishbone. So love me is to know me. If you learn anything I taught. This is unexpected, I'm sure, to some people, out of left field, out of the blue, but for me, not really, because I think as well, as I said, this list is really about services to bass playing. And when you make a list like that and you acknowledge people, you have to make sure, I believe you have to make sure that you acknowledge some people who may be unsung. Because without doing that, you're really not telling the whole story, and you're not making sure that the legacy is properly covered and properly, the information on it is properly disseminated. Because Norwood Fisher from Fishbone, I think, is hugely influential as a bass player. He's just not recognized. It's not mentioned. Like Fishbone, they're contemporaries of bands like Metallica. I mean, I remember I met Norwood a few times. Like, I had a show on Resonance 104.4 FM in London, the UK. For a number of years, it was called Yinka in the Id, and I would just talk about whatever the fuck I wanted to talk about, and usually match it with the news and whatever. But, part of that was just doing interviews with people. And I remember interviewing Norwood Fisher a few times. Really, 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 really super cool dude. Super humble. And he told me a few stories. One of them was James and Lars going down to watch Fishbone in California. I'll say California because I don't know whether it was LA or the Bay Area. I get confused over that because my geography of West Coast America is not the greatest. But he knows those guys know him. So that was really interesting to discover. And then he also told me a really, really interesting, revealing stories about Red Hot Chili Peppers, and the fact that, I think, is it Red Hot Chili Peppers / James Addiction, but I definitely think it was Chili Peppers, and they rehearsed like in his front room, like when in his mum's house or something, or mum's or grandma's house, like over on the West Coast in LA. I think LA, I'm gonna say LA, if it's not LA, you can say whatever you want in the comments. And helping, Flea learn bass. I mean, that shit is like, I don't know, that's like finding the Holy Grail or something, discovering bits of the Ark or whatever, or, bones in, Africa, like from the first human being. First human beings. To me, it is like, that shit is really like information that you cannot put a price tag on. But apart from like things that he might have intimated to me, and I'm sure, I've got a mixed cloud. If you go there and you look for Yinka, and I'm sure that interview may be up. Anyway, it's from ages ago. But also, I mean, I feel like I can see a lot of Norwood in Flea's bass playing and his style and his vibe. And obviously Flea still, but everybody's influenced, everybody gets inspiration, from people before them, but also peers. So I don't think, I'm not discrediting Flea or taking anything away from him. I believe in saying this. I think he definitely deserves to be in this list. So check him out. Check out Fishbone. I definitely recommend. My favorite album of theirs is The Reality of My Surroundings. Double album. It's got some fucking serious tunes on it. Fight the Youth, you know, Summer Saturday was a big tune. Everyday Sunshine. And then Truth and Soul is another great album of theirs that's got a cover of Freddie's Dead on it, which is originally written and performed by Curtis Mayfield. So check that one out. Great fucking album, amazing band, Fishbone, Norwood Fisher.